pulled over 3 times in the past month. Now, I have a big family. They're scattered all over the U.S. I have a brother in Florida, another brother in Arizona, and a little sister in Texas. Now, as you can see from these pictures, in Arizona I was wearing a plaid t-shirt, in Florida a red bandana, and in Texas another plaid t-shirt. Now, I asked the officer in each state why I was pulled over, and every officer told me that I looked like an illegal immigrant. In Texas, they thought I was Dominican. In Florida, Cuban. And in Arizona, a Mexican. Now, ironically enough, I'm not any of these ethnicities. I'm black and white. But more importantly, I'm an American citizen. Thank you for allowing me to speak today at our annual town hall meeting. My name is Jessica Kuczynski, and me and my partner April Baptist will be talking with you guys about the Illegal Immigration Reform and Enforcement Act of 2011, also known as HB 87. This law allows police officers to use racial profiling during stops, as well as enforces employees to report illegal immigrants. My partner and I will discuss with you how this law is a problem because it's unconstitutional and it uses racial profiling. We'll also talk to you about our solution, the advantages and the disadvantages, and in particular, how you can help us personally make changes to this law accordingly. Now that I've gotten your attention, let's look at the problem with HB 87. The fact that this law allows police officers to use racial profiling is unconstitutional. It goes against our Fourth Amendment, which protects U.S. citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. Now, according to Section 17-5-100 of the bill HB 87, I found on August 15th from the website justice.gov, published by the U.S. Department of Justice, that it stated that an officer can, over time, develop reasonable suspicion that an individual is not an American citizen. Well, what type of immigrant are these officers looking for? Mexican, Canadian, Russian? They all come in different shapes, colors, and sizes, so there is no possible way that an officer can have reasonable doubt or reasonable suspicion that an individual is not an American citizen. These officers are using racial profiling to determine if an individual is an American citizen or not, and that is unconstitutional. Now, think back to the Fourth Amendment, and remember that it protects us from unreasonable searches. Well, would you not say that it is unreasonable for an officer to search you for documentation of citizenship when they have not even pulled you over reasonably? That's ridiculous. Remember back to the Fourth Amendment again, that it protects you from unreasonable seizures. When an officer pulls you over and places you in handcuffs because you look like an immigrant, would you not say that that is unreasonable? If we're being searched and seized unreasonably by individuals that were sworn to protect our rights, police officers, then that means that these police officers are going against our constitutional rights. Now, I'm not the only one who feels that this law will allow racial profiling. In fact, I read in the Atlanta Political Buzz Examiner article titled "Georgia Will Consider Arizona-Style Immigration Law" in 2011, written by April Kuczynski on January 26, 2011, that Representative Ramsey of Georgia also feels that this law will allow racial profiling if it continues to be the way it is. Now that you've heard what the problem is, my partner April Baptist will talk to you guys about the solution.
Thank you, Jessica. First, we need to amend HB 87 and completely eliminate the unconstitutional part. That being this racial profile these police officers are now being able to use. If we amend this law accordingly, we won't have a law that goes against our constitutional rights. Now, we know you all are probably wondering why this has anything to do with you, but the fact of the matter is, anyone can get pulled over. That means you and your loved ones. Now you're probably wondering, okay, well, if we do take out this unconstitutional parts, how we have control over these illegal immigrants coming into our country? Well, that's why not only do we want to look at the first part of this law being the unconstitutional part, we also want to focus on the second part of this law being the punishment for these employers that are hiring these illegal immigrants. On October 7th, 2011, I had a face-to-face interview with Caitlin Sheen, a victim to this law. Now, during our interview, Caitlin told me that while applying for a chef position at Chipotle, she was denied to an illegal immigrant. Now, I wanted to see if Caitlin was the only victim to this law. So on October 20th, 2011, I went to the website www.9news.com. found the website Chipotle Accused of Hiring Illegal Immigrants, published by KUSA-TV, a multimedia holdings corporation, and found that Chipotle was found while being audited to have hired a lot of illegal immigrants with the wrong employment documents, and initially fired 450 of those employees because of these documents. Now here's the thing, like Caitlin Cheney, most of us would just go look for another job, but there needs to be change. So on October 25th, 2011, I went to the website www.justice.gov, published by the United States Department of Justice, and found that Act 274A states that the punishment for these employers for hiring these illegal immigrants is a misdemeanor and up to 5 years imprisonment. Now they can also get simple civil suit and forfeiture of the vehicle and the property that the crime is committed in. So here's what we're proposing. This misdemeanor be changed to a felony and 10 years imprisonment instead of 5. Still not convinced in our solution? Let's look at some disadvantages and some advantages that we'll face. If this bill is amended, an advantage that we'll have is not having to worry about illegal laws that go against our rights. A disadvantage that we'll have is having to worry about our government passing these unconstitutional laws. So you've heard our disadvantages and our advantages. Now it's time for you all to step up and help make a change. That's why we want you all to go to the website www.petition/HB7 and write your name down so that you can help.
That's absolutely right, April. Your voices need to be heard. The only way to do that is by going and signing this petition. We will take this petition to the Capitol, and by then this law will be changed. Thank you.